like to begin with last year. As challenging as it was, one of our work was about silver linings, finding silver linings, and our work under Mrs. Clark, and working with our students. We say to ourselves, what will sustain us? What can get us through all of this together? Right? We talk about hope, and we talk about the need to see positives in situations that's dire. And it doesn't mean we are not practical. It doesn't mean we are impractical. It just means hope brings us to a place where we can start, right? At a starting point. And so that's where it started last year. And we did silver lining, and the response was fantastic. And we did that to align with the National Mental Health Week, so it was in May. And our students are fantastic. And when they give feedback, when we ask, what worked for you this week? And they talk a lot about having them go to a place to think about what good could have come out of this, right? Because we can look at all the things as negative, but can we find one thing, one small thing that is give us something to work with? And they came up with lots. And part of the feedback was, Mrs. Birch, why do we wait this long? It's May, right? And so we absolutely took those feedback. We thought it was important. And so this year we wanted to start early. So we started with September with little activities that just boost people's spirits. And that's really how it started.
We really recognized that the students needed some help in getting over the sadness that so many students were feeling. And we, as a team with the student council involvement, decided to create a program or a series of events that occurred during Mental Health Awareness Week, which was a national campaign.
So we wanted to create an Instagram challenge so that students could spread awareness about mental well-being, because we know that lately with COVID it's been difficult for a lot of people, and we just wanted to spread awareness by doing something that's easy to share, which is social media. And yeah, we wanted to create talk about it because sometimes it's not talked about.
And we wanted to recognize that we need to support each other with our mental health well-being and awareness. We want to talk, we want to have conversations, we want students to be able to connect with adults, whether it be their families or a teacher or a psychologist, whatever. We just do not want silence. We want to be able to talk and to help students deal with any mental health issues, severe or not severe, regardless. We want to be open, we want to be accessible, and the more we talk about this, we know the better, the easier it becomes to talk about these things.
I think it's just important to maintain, especially because you feel so isolated at this time. So just being reminded to it at school is important, because at home you might just feel more alone maybe. At school you have your friends and teachers and everyone that's helping you. So I think it's very important to maintain mental health at this time, because I feel like it's easy to lose, I guess. Yeah.
I think you have to kind of find the little moments in the big mass of everything that's kind of gone wrong in the world. So for me, spending time with family or coming to school with friends, I know that when school wasn't going on last year, it was more difficult for me because you feel detached, and school has been helpful. And I think anything that kind of brings that sense of community, so being with people, has really helped me. I'm on sports teams and that helps. I think it's just finding what can make you happy and not focusing on the bad as much.
Or I have asked students to write up or reflect about something from the past that when they think back or they see something, it makes them happy. And one of our students here at Shaftesbury, and an elite athlete, he talked about a childhood friend who died, and the childhood friend's mother gave this student an angel bear. And this angel bear is still in his bedroom. And he looks at this bear and it brings him happiness. I think that's powerful.
So what people would do is we want them to post something that's positive to them or promotes mental well-being for themselves. So that could be, you could do a poem, you could do a quote.
Very broad.
Anything really that you want to do, a song, photo that makes you happy. And the only thing you have to do is include our hashtag, just because we wanted to keep track of people that were participating, because we do have, we have a draw happening, so to promote participation, and also so that we could see kind of our turnout for future reference on what we could make better or what to do. And that's the only criteria, is that people could post, and people not willing to post or that don't have an electronic device available to them or an account could submit a paper copy of what they wanted to do to the office.
You know, when we started, there was reluctance in speaking specifically to the Stay Positive Shaftesbury. I think it's a little bit about the world and social media and human conditions, right? That oftentimes the negatives or what is wrong with the world is broadcasted. That's what makes the news. Fair enough. I think it's important that as leaders, adults, everybody is a leader in this space, right? We need to be able to remind people, yes, there are things that are not so great in the world or even bad. There are also a lot of good in the world, and we have to choose to see it also. Again, it's not about not seeing anything that's negative and not being realistic. It's to say, not everything is bad. There are beautiful acts of kindness and human spirits, generosity of spirits. We just had a toy drive. We had our community outreach club. We had donations to Manitoba Harvest. There is just so much good in all of us, in students, in staff, in our community. And we almost need to train ourselves to see that. And it's getting out of practice. And I think it's time we practice that as well, because we get better in everything we practice, right?